Action.
Hi, I'm Emma.
Oh, I'm Colin.
I'm Tegan, and this is CTE Podcast, and in this episode, we'll be focusing more on our topic.
We're going to start with Colin's topic, then Tegan's topic, and lastly my topic.
Then we will start looking at any conflicts we had during our topics.
Lastly, we will look at what connects our topics together.
Without further delay, let's get started.
So our first topic is how recidivism rates affect prison. Did I say that correctly?
Recidivism?
Yeah, how recidivism rates affect prisons. And one of the biggest parts is that because prisons are so crowded, when people get out, they have had such a different life than when you're not in prison. And so it makes it extremely difficult to stay out of prison and have a normal life afterhand. And so that can really affect how recidivism rates change people. Yeah.
Next topic we're going to be going over is rules in prisons and how they are barely followed. There have been so many cases where women in prison systems have reported sexual or physical abuse towards them, and the guards kind of just brush it off because they're prisoners and they're known to lie and they're known to deceive and all these things. But then when they get out of prison, they're used to not being heard and listened to. So if they ever get treated like that out of prison, it's a whole spiral. It's a whole other thing. It's a whole bunch of trauma. So you're putting a broken person in a broken place and they're coming out broken, and then you're expecting a difference. It's incredibly unimaginable what they're putting these women through. And the next topic we'll be actually talking about is the lack of hygiene women go through.
So with cosmetics, it incorporates hair and skincare, and so there's a large lack of hygiene for them to maintain their hair and skin. So most people who are going into prison don't have a large amount of money to buy commissary, and so they're given whatever the prison gives them, which a lot of the time for soap is the little, hotel soap, the little bars of soap. That's how much soap they're given for a week, but it can last. But there are time periods where that's only what they can use for a month because they just don't care enough to give them more. And for teeth, they're given a toothbrush, but not toothpaste. And they're also not allowed to have hair ties. It's considered contraband and can be used as a weapon because, that's so scary.
Sorry. Sorry.
So they're not allowed to have hair ties. They're not allowed to have their hair up. They're not allowed to cut their hair because it's considered changing your appearance.
Baldy.
And that's considered dangerous. So imagine being in jail for 2 years for continuous shoplifting. I looked at that.
Don't look at me.
I looked at that sentencing to make sure that would be accurate. You're in there for 2 years for consistently shoplifting. Your hair grows about 1 inch every month. So your hair will, within that time period, will grow 24 inches.
I wish.
Yeah, it'll grow about 24 inches. It might not grow as long because it will start falling off. Because you will start losing hair in prison due to the lack of hair due to shampoo. But
Baldy
imagine,
plus.
so imagine having your hair as normal, plus I'm going to go around 10 inches because I think it would start falling off by then. So your hair would be this long, and imagine summers in prison and you can't tie your hair up.
Okay.
You cannot grade it, you cannot do anything. Miserable. And with the lack of cleaning it, it really makes them feel even less human. Because one of the biggest things that prisoners do to feel human is to shower. So, I think a big conflict in our research is the fact that the government is trying to not make academic resources for us to find.
I definitely agree with that. I think that it's really hard to find research that is reliable because of the fact that there's no.
We
We'll wrap this up. Wait, keep on going.
There's no academic research that's anywhere that you can find that's reliable sources because the government's trying to hide everything. And for our question,
How do you think our topics could collide in the future, and what would bring them together? I want you to think about that.
let's think about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's all for our CTE podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in on this episode, and we will see you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Great job.